The real reason retirement breaks someone explains why you feel lost, even though you've built a successful life. Now, there's a strange finding. Retirement itself is not the problem. Losing your groups might be. You worked for decades. You built a routine, a role, a reputation, a purpose. Now, I'm a best-selling author. I'm going to look into it all in the research, and I'm going to give you my honest takeaway afterwards, as well as the bonus. Now, all of this has happened up until your retirement, and then suddenly it ends. The alarm stops ringing. The meetings, they disappear. The identity, it starts fading, and something unexpected happens. You feel less certain, less connected, less yourself. Researchers followed recent retirees across Australia. They discovered important truths. Retirement outcome improved most when people kept valued groups and joined new ones. Not money, not status, not achievement. Groups, family groups, friendship groups, community groups and hobby groups, even volunteer groups. The study found better well-being, better mental health, better life satisfaction when old connections survived change. But there was another discovery too. Most men experienced something called discontinuity, a feeling that the man you were no longer matches the man you are. The past feels, well, dead. The future feels unclear. Meaning weakens, confidence shrinks. The second study offered insight. Nostalgia helps. Not escapism, not fantasy. Real memories, real people, real experiences. When you remember important moments, it helps. You reconnect your past to your present, and your future meaning returns. Direction returns. Identity even returns. Maybe your problems is not aging. Maybe your problems is disconnection from your groups, from your story, from yourself. So what can we do then to solve all of this? Well, we can protect friendships. Stay visible. Often when we finish something, we walk out of the office, we turn off that button on the computer, last meeting, we become invisible. But if we stay visible, if we go to the rituals, the things every year, the get-togethers every month, we're showing that we care about their present work. Even though maybe mentally we're not into it anymore, that's cool. But we're showing the interest in people. And if we stay connected, it helps us stay involved in some way. It doesn't mean you have to do any work, but it means that you are confident, maybe a friend outside of the group. But the connection is just being sparked through the work that you already know. You can also join other groups and learn new skills. Sounds a bit cliche, but it works. Because if you meet new people, you're creating new neural connections in your brain and you're building belonging, because this is the part of your life now where you're going to be. It might take a while that you're just shopping out there and doing little groups here and there, but eventually you'll be able to put more of your hours into your week into groups that matter. I mentioned nostalgia, and you can use that nostalgia to recall milestones. Where you got your perceived identity in your work in the first place can be looked at. Because if you can recall your, say, mentors or maybe your victories along the way, you can begin to reconstruct what it was or the ingredients in that so that you can help yourself in the future into your retirement years. Try to keep routines. Certain routines like getting up early are very important. Now, there will be moments, there's no doubt about it, that you'll open your eyes, look at the clock, press the snooze button and say to yourself, oh, hold on, I don't need to, I'll just pull the plug. But if you keep your routines, it means you have to just replace going to work, maybe with a morning walk, a healthier option. And if you're having weekly meetings, try to fill that amount of meetings with those groups that are mentioned earlier. Try to have shared activities, doing things, being present and being active helps too. Build continuity. Might be easier said than done when you're getting to know new people, new groups, new times. If you keep as many things as simple and as similar to when you were working, then you can link the past with the future. And have present action in doing so, because that's what allows you to be motivated for future goals. Speaking of which, if you like this video and comment, we'll be able to connect. And then from there, I'll be able to produce more. And if you subscribe, I'll certainly look deeper into the research for you. Now let's move on. The next thing is to volunteer regularly. It's such an underrated thing. People think, well, sure, why would I give my time and not get money? Because you're already mixing with people if you volunteer. You're into your interest and you're serving others. There's a huge benefit from that. If you think about getting things, getting money, you will get huge value from that. Stay useful. Feeling productive at the end of your volunteer shift allows you to create purpose in your life. Even if it's only the beginning of your next part of your life, your next chapter, you can springboard that towards going into different groups and different activities after that. Tell stories. Everyone likes them. You have a wealth of experience. Share your lessons by just intermingling with other people and saying, oh, it reminds me of a time when such and such happened at work. Now you can kind of tell the story a little bit deeper, because you don't actually have to be, mannerly towards the boss anymore. Try to preserve your wisdom though throughout, creating not the allure, but the reality that you have done decades of work. This strengthens identity for yourself and gives you that feeling of that stepping off point to trigger yourself into the future with greater hope. But maintain your hobbies. These are strictly very important. Keep your interests. If you allow things to wane in your mind and go out of that habit, go out of that structure and routine, it's not good. You need that structure. You've had decades of it. So keep challenging yourself within your hobbies. Keep growing. If you're doing fitness and you've done maybe an hour and you want to do an hour and 10, so long as your doctor approves it, you can get a little bit fitter, you can push yourself a little bit more, and you can go deeper within whatever game you're playing. The research is also saying that if you create rituals, you're going to have new traditions. You're going to better times. And then as time passes, even the first year, you're going to look back and say, that was a great year. I now have new family traditions, for example. Maybe annual gatherings. It doesn't necessarily just have to be at Christmas or in the summer. It can be at birthdays. And you can have meaningful habits all around those things, like making a sandwich with the main event in the middle. You just sprinkle in those things that will help you in the interim and into the future as well. Then you can expand your circles from that. Invite people and their friends. And then you have new actual communities branching off through those people. Think of all the people in the world. If you can connect to so many of those, that means there's more opportunities out there and you can build new friendships. And look, friendships do take time, that's for sure. But if you give yourself the opportunity by doing all of these things, you'll definitely grow further. So remember, retirees do better when they maintain valued group membership and gain new ones. Feeling disconnected from your past self can weaken meaning and well-being. Nostalgia, though, can restore self-continuity and meaning in life. My big takeaway is that, look, retiring is one thing, but it's not your identity. Leaving work is not the huge thing that's going to put you into a bad place. Rather, if you take the meaning from what you've learned, you can reinvent yourself in meaningful groups and a strong sense of continuity between you, your past and your present. Self-protects your identity and pushes you forward so that you can thrive in the future. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. If you subscribe, comment to say that you have, and we'll look after you.